We all experience stress in our lives, but our ability to deal with stress and to release that stress that's stored within us can directly impact our health and our ability to find a peaceful place in our lives. I'm here with author Sharron Magyar, who's here to talk to us about stress and the ways that we can overcome it. Sharron, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So you are a hypnotherapist, but you have also created a unique program to help people face their stress. Tell me what comes up for people when they're having stress that is so damaging.
Well, I always think about this. Stress is sort of like it can wrap its clutches around your neck, and it has a hold of you and it won't let go, particularly with chronic stress. And the problem with it is it's very insidious. It kind of erodes away your life in a way. And one day you wake up and you realize, I can't sleep at night. And you realize you are procrastinating things. It's hard to put one foot in front of the other. You just don't seem to have the joy in your heart like you used to, because stress it kind of erodes your personal way of life. And so what I work with a lot with hypnosis is people who come and walk in the door and they're stressed, and they really sometimes can't even name what it is that's stressing them. So for the average person, there are 15 million people who are stressed in the United States today. The problem with stress is eventually it leads to poor health in many different ways. And so in my work, as I have taken this journey of my own, which of course was stressed, I have learned about what can be underlying stress and how you deal with it, and how to move forward in your life.
Now, you're the author of a book, My Golden Heart. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit about that story?
Yes. So My Golden Heart is my personal story as well as my daughter's story. And I had a daughter who, at the age of 12 years old, started doing drugs, and her life went on. She actually did drugs for the bulk of her life. She grew up, got married, had 4 children, and it was a very difficult journey. And in many ways, my book is for anyone that has a family member that is dealing with drugs or is experiencing drug addiction themselves. But along the way, through my discoveries in 1 year, personally, I was walking across the road and I was ran over by a car. My father died and my daughter died. And 11 of my relatives died, all within 6 months of each other. And so talk about stress, that put me, it put me on a journey of how do I recover from this? Because these are all, one in particular would be difficult, but then we have all of them piled on each other. It's sort of similar to what happened to people in 9/11. How do you recover from an event like that? And so as I was trying to dig my way out of that hole, I was trying to figure out, how do I do that? And I began to learn through my work with hypnosis and through my own recovery, I began to learn that through all of this, there are soul wounds that you can acquire that are very difficult to overcome. And as I looked at that more and more, I recognized when you have a soul wound, you become stuck in life. You just can't put one foot in front of the other. And so, not being someone that's stuck in life, I started doing investigating to how do you overcome that? How do you move beyond that? And so through that journey, I've made a lot of personal discoveries that I felt like I wanted to share, because I know there's a lot of people in the same position that I was in.
Now, I know in the book you talk about your daughter, and later you found out that she in fact had a very deep soul wound that no one was aware of.
Right. And this is what often happens. It's so easy to make judgments about where people are in their life, and well, why don't they just fix it? But I'm telling you that often when people are in a bad place in their life, they've had a soul wound that they've either buried in their subconscious mind and they don't have any awareness about it, which is exactly what happened to my daughter at 11 years old. She had an event happen to her that was probably the horriblest of all that could happen to a young child. But she had buried it in her subconscious mind, so she had no idea really what was driving her addiction. And I suspected something had happened to her, but I had no idea what it was till much later in her life. And at that point, addiction really had its hold on her. So we all can make judgments about where people are, but generally, if you look further, you'll find out that there's some sort of soul wound that is driving their actions and their behavior. The problem is it becomes buried in the subconscious mind, and so it becomes difficult even for the person who's carrying a soul wound, like the 3-year-old child that you tell him he's spilled milk and he's stupid, and he believes he's stupid for the rest of his life. Is he going to remember that? No, he's not going to remember that. So it's just a matter of learning what soul wounds are and learning what you have to do to heal from soul wounds.
Now, I know that you do a lot of unique things. It's more than just hypnosis. What else is included in your work?
Well, in my work, I have included sound therapy, I guess you want to call it, but I'll say sound. That's probably the more practical word I should be using here. So different sound, I have used different sounds. So I use tuning forks and the monochord, and I use the didgeridoo, many other instruments. And the reason that they're specifically chosen because they have a vibrational energy that can help release soul wounds or stress in carrying it in just a different context. So all of my hypnosis MP3s are combined with sound, but that specific sound which is designed to release any stress or tension that you might have in your body quickly and easily. So it works very well, and it works real rapidly.
Now, I know you also have a background in art, and you use art as a healing tool. How can art heal us?
Well, the thing about art is when you do art, you touch you go to your subconscious mind. And when you're in the flow, information is actually flowing through your subconscious mind. When I'm doing my art, I even have to be reminded to eat, stop and eat. My husband will bring me the food and say, it's time to eat. Because I'm so in the flow with that art that I just don't realize the whole world falls away from me. It's much like when a football player is catching the ball, he's not aware I'm catching the ball. He's so into that, and he's in the flow. So with art, you can connect with that parts of your soul that you cannot connect with under other circumstances. So it's just a matter of, in all these instances, these are ways of connecting with your subconscious mind. And those ways to connect with your subconscious mind can free up anything that you have accumulated or you're carrying along with you in life that isn't real beneficial to you. So you can move into a different space where you sleep easier, you have a lot more energy, you approach life much more joyfully, and you can sort of walk during this path that you can connect with the real you. So many times I hear people say, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. But you can't find out what you're supposed to be contributing to the world if you're packing all this garbage. And so part of the work that I do is helping people unpack the garbage, but it's not me, it's teaching them how to reach into their own inner resources. So it's just like when I do my artwork and I'm in this flow, I teach other people how to get in the flow and move into a different space in their life so they can actually fulfill what is their true potential, so they can live life joyously, so that they can be, have you ever said something and you went, I can't believe that's coming out of my mouth? Why did I say that? And go home and beat yourself up about it. And so that would just happen to you less frequently, and move into a place of love, with love in your heart and love and compassion for other people and where they're at, and kind of moving away from that place of judgment where you're continually having to judge people, where you're continually have to defend yourself, and just knowing, allowing that love just to spread out into the world in a beautiful way.
You work with a special group of people as well, the veterans. What challenges do they uniquely face?
Well, veterans, first of all, veterans, most veterans, especially if they're a combat veteran, I would probably say that, they're carrying many soul wounds that are difficult. And so a traditional way that we treat that is, now don't misunderstand me, there's a place for all this, but the traditional way we treat that is to give them medication because their experience is difficult for them and long going. So the work that I do is to help veterans disconnect from the stress that they're experiencing. I can't remember what the statistics on how many veterans commit suicide every day, and it's so much more than what you would ever think of. I think it was 7 every day, I think. But anyway, that may be not right. So the membership site that I've designed that has hypnosis MP3s and the sound combined together is designed to help the veteran release stress, which is cumulative over time, and it gives them back control. It teaches them how to participate in their own healing. And I think everyone wants to have control themselves. I don't think that they want to have anyone else do it for them. I think they want to do it for themselves, and they have the resources to do it. They just don't know how to access it. They have the resources to know how not to be stressed, but many times no one has shown them how. So the membership site that I've designed for veterans is about helping them to learn how to access their own inner resources, to learn how to breathe right, to learn how to just move into a different place and deal with some of those issues, take control of some of those issues themselves and access their own inner resources to do that.
So you have created a home study course, for one uniquely for veterans, but one for everyone else who's stressed. What kinds of things could someone find inside this course?
Well, inside the course are, if you went down the general population track, I guess is the way I want to say it, there are 20 MP3s that, one, they teach you how to learn how to breathe correctly so that you can sort of instantly and automatically de-stress under any circumstance. And that often can be hard to do. And then so it takes you, there are 20 MP3s that take you on this journey of connecting with yourself and learning how to de-stress anytime, anywhere, any place. And, so sometimes it's just like your boss is driving you crazy, or your kids are driving you crazy, or, little things can add up to be big stressors over a period of time. But then maybe it's you find you're living a life that you don't want even to be living. And how do you survive that? How do you live a life that it seems like everyone else has control of it? So in many ways, I help people to learn how to take control of their own life and how to stand in their own truth and their own confidence. And I think that once they go through the course, some things should be happening for them. They should be sleeping better. They should have better physical health. They should, their relationship should improve because it teaches you how to access your own inner resources to deal with all of those types of issues. So it's not about, as a hypnotherapist, it's not about what I say or do. It's about how I guide you and support you in learning your own self and what you need for yourself. And so at the end of by the time they get to the end of the program, they should be experiencing life with joy instead of experiencing life with anxiety and fear and sometimes anger. So particularly, I think in the site that's created for the veteran site, there's a lot of anger. It's anger at being put into a war that maybe they didn't want to be into, anger at what they saw, anger that they couldn't do more for their fellow veterans. So just accessing your inner resources to deal with those kinds of things can be truly life-saving and life-changing.
Sharron, you're going to do a little demonstration for us.
Yes, I just wanted to demonstrate a little bit what the hypnosis MP3s are like. We've combined music to our MP3s, and we've used specific music designed to help release vibrations and of different frequencies. So if you don't mind being my guinea pig.
I don't. I would love to.
So all I want you to do is just focus on your breathing for me right
Okay.
now, and just close your eyes and think for a moment about some issue that you have that you really would like to change, whatever that might be. Doesn't make any difference. Just kind of get it in your mind. And as you have that issue in your mind, I want you to focus on where you feel that at in your body. So just check on where you feel it in your body. And when you have that located, just let me know you have it located.
Okay.
And do you mind sharing where that's at?
Back of my neck.
Okay, back of your neck. So I want you to just focus on the back of your neck, and I'm just going to this is a mono chord that I'm playing. And just let that sound begin to vibrate through your body. Focusing on the back of your neck. And give yourself an image of that issue that you're feeling in the back of your neck. A picture, if you will. And just allow the vibration to just sift through your body. Breathing deep. And once you get that image in your mind, the picture that represents the issue that you're thinking about, I want you to just transform it. Transform it in a way that feels right for you. You may even want to blow it up. Or you may just simply want to transform it into something that seems appropriate. When you have that done, just give me a brief nod. Right. And take a deep breath. And breathing out. Just allowing the vibration to flow through your body. And then open your eyes and check in with your body. That space in the back of your neck. And how does it feel?
It feels lighter.
Yeah. So what I just demonstrated to you is an easy way that you can actually work with yourself. And many times we try to help people to learn how they can transform things, they can just relieve issues on their own. And so it's a technique that you should be able to use for yourself for the rest of your life in different situations. Music always helps. When people read my book, a lot of times they want to know what soul wounds are. And so I've tried to figure out a way to demonstrate that in a way that's easy for them to understand. And so today I bought my box of soul wounds, and I'm just going to show you how it works with soul wounds as you progress through your life. So let's just imagine that you're a 3-year-old kid and you spill your milk. And your mother yells at you, "You're stupid, you spilled your milk. How stupid could you be?" Well, what that child internalizes is, "I'm stupid." But what it actually creates is, guess what? Their first soul wound. So here you are, you're the 3-year-old child, and you have to carry that soul wound with you. You have to carry that rock for the rest of your life because it's buried in your subconscious mind, the belief that you're stupid. And every action from that point forward will be, "I'm stupid." Take that little child up a little bit further and they get into their teenage years. And let's say the worst case scenario, the child suffers from some sort of abuse. Whatever that might be, it may be verbal, it may be sexual, it may be a different nature. So he gets another soul wound. But abuse soul wound is the worst kind. Get to keep that one. But you have to keep that rock. You have to carry that rock for the rest of your life. Go up into the teenage years. Falls in love. But guess what? The person breaks his or her heart. So, another soul wound. I'll be kind. Okay. There is another soul wound. But you cannot put those down. You have to carry them with you for the rest of your life. So, many other things. This is a whole bag of soul wounds. And actually, these are stress. Stress here, stress there, stress there. And those stress accumulates so that you have that much stress. I'll give you a break and I won't put it on your lap. So again, you have to carry all of those for the rest of your life. The thing about stress is it's cumulative. And as time goes on, you have more and more and more. Then maybe you have maybe you're part of 9/11 and you have a real serious trauma. And this looks like a pretty one, but it's also a soul wound. It's just polished. And it happens to be one that you've identified with, and you're going to have to carry it for the rest of your life. Right there. Now, how do you think things are going as you're trying to carry all those rocks with you for the rest of your life?
Well, it feels heavy.
Yeah, it's going to become much more difficult. You're going to start experiencing sleeplessness. You're going to start experiencing an inability to put one foot in front of the other one, procrastination, irritability, sometimes not having your relationship issues, and it's going to become more and more difficult to function in life. So essentially, the work that we do with hypnosis is we help release it so that you can actually function in life. You can now sleep. You can now have more energy. Your health becomes better, and your relationships improve. Now, there's other ways to release soul wounds. I don't want to imply that hypnosis is the only way. Sometimes they can spontaneously happen through massage or through different modalities. Sometimes it happens through prayer. But hypnosis is a very non-invasive, quick, and easy way to deal with soul wounds.
Sharron Major, thank you for creating such a powerful yet natural tool for us.
Thank you very much for having me here today. I really appreciate it.